I never thought I'd hear something that would make me question everything about my relationship in a single moment. But that's exactly what happened. And it's haunted me ever since. My fiancée and I had been together for almost 2 years. On paper, everything looked perfect. We lived together in a small but cozy apartment, shared responsibilities, and often told friends and family how happy we were. I loved her, or at least I thought I did. She loved me too, or at least that's what I believed. She worked from home most of the time, doing marketing and social media management. I had a traditional 9-to-5 job in finance. Most of the time, we respected each other's space. She'd sit at her desk in the corner of our living room, laptop open, headphones on, typing away for hours. I'd work in my home office, occasionally glancing over to smile or wave. That's how our days went. Routine, comfortable, safe. Then one Tuesday afternoon, I was in the living room, finishing some reports while she was in her corner, doing a Zoom call with her team. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop. Honestly, I didn't care about her call, but the sound of her laptop speaker was slightly higher than usual. That's when I heard it, she whispered, almost too softly for anyone else to hear, but loud enough for me sitting a few feet away. God, I hope he does. I froze. It was impossible to know who she was talking about, and my heart started racing. My mind immediately went to the worst-case scenarios. Her talking about a coworker, someone she was flirting with, someone she wanted more than me. I waited, trying to hear more, but she immediately laughed into the Zoom call and said something like, "Yeah, totally, I'll handle it." Then her microphone clicked off, and the room fell silent again. I couldn't focus on my work anymore. My chest was tight, my hands shook slightly. I kept replaying the whisper in my head. Who was he? What did she hope he did? I tried to push it out of my mind, telling myself I was overreacting. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe she was talking about someone else entirely. A client? A coworker she was mentoring? Or literally anyone who wasn't me. But no matter how hard I rationalized, that whisper gnawed at me. After her Zoom ended, I asked casually, "Hey, who were you just talking about?" She looked at me like I'd asked the dumbest question in the world. "What do you mean?" "You whispered." God, I hope he does. "Who were you talking about?" Her eyes narrowed slightly. "Oh, that? I was talking about a project. You know, the Henderson account. I was hoping my coworker would follow through with their part." I wanted to believe her. I really did. But my gut told me otherwise. The tone, the pause before she whispered. It didn't feel like work. Over the next few days, I started noticing patterns I had ignored before. Small things, little red flags. The way she'd sometimes laugh at private texts while I was nearby but never let me see them. The way she'd go quiet for a few seconds before answering my questions about work or friends. The way she seemed a little too defensive whenever I asked about coworkers or social events. I couldn't shake the suspicion. I started checking things. Again, not proud of it. But I needed answers. One night, I peeked at her phone while she was in the shower. Nothing blatant. But I noticed messages from a coworker that made me uneasy. Flirty jokes, small compliments, emojis that felt intimate. My heart sank. I confronted her the next evening. "I overheard you on Zoom the other day, saying something about hoping someone does something. Who were you talking about?" She froze. Then she smiled, but it wasn't warm. It was calculating. "I already told you it was about work. Your tone didn't sound like it was about work." "I know it wasn't about work." Her laugh was sharp. "Wow, you really don't trust me, do you?" "I'm trying to," I said quietly. But that whisper, it felt different. And now I'm seeing all these little things I ignored before. She leaned back on the couch, crossed her arms, and said something I'll never forget. "You're imagining things. Maybe if you weren't so paranoid, you'd see I'm committed to this relationship. Stop looking for problems that aren't there." I didn't sleep that night. My mind was a whirlwind. Did I trust her? Could I? Was this the woman I wanted to spend the rest of my life with? By the end of the week, I decided I needed space. I stayed at a friend's apartment for a couple of nights to clear my head. I tried to think logically. Maybe I was paranoid. Maybe it really was just about work. But deep down, I couldn't ignore the feeling that something had shifted. A week later, the truth started leaking out. One of her coworkers accidentally sent me a message meant for her. "Thanks for making my day today. Can't wait to see you again." Everything clicked. The whisper, the texts, the tone, the little jokes she made around me while secretly smiling at someone else. I confronted her one final time. She tried to lie, denied everything, and even tried to flip it around on me. "You're controlling. You're jealous. That's why I can't be happy with you." I left. I moved out within the week, packed my things, changed my number, and started therapy to untangle the mess of betrayal and doubt. It's been months now. I've realized a few things. The whisper on Zoom was the first warning. I just didn't want to see it. Sometimes love isn't enough. Respect and honesty matter more. Trust is fragile. Once it's broken, even slightly, you can't always repair it. I'm rebuilding. Slowly. I still think about that whisper sometimes. How one tiny phrase, one small sound, completely shifted everything. But I've also learned to listen to my instincts, to notice the subtle signs before they explode into something worse. So, yeah, during a work Zoom on her laptop, I overheard my fiancé whisper, "God, I hope he does." It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't about work. And it changed everything.